One of the first things, or my initial thoughts, was one of the verses in the Bible when it says in Psalms 107, 29 through 30, He stilled the storm to a whisper, the waves of the sea were hushed, they were glad when it grew calm. They were glad they grew calm, and He guided them to their desired haven. I think about that verse a lot, even though we're not, of course, by the sea or the land, and there's no storm on it, it's perfect. But I just feel like it finds the answers if you're by water. That's how I connect it with this project, but just in general. And it's my favorite verse, so. As I walk up from the shoreline, I also see there's different types of trees. I don't know exactly what kind of trees are, but once I look more at it from the trail, I think I'll find it. My goal is trying to find some non-vascular and vascular plants, some fungi, and just pretty much anything interesting. So hopefully I'll find something up on the shore. To be more exact where I am, I should specify that I'm at Bohemian Flats, down by the Mississippi River. Some of the key features I should point out earlier were there's definitely, as you see, the Mississippi River's down right there. And then along the trail we'll walk. Hopefully we'll still see the Mississippi River, I think we will. But then also some interesting areas around it too, with trees and other plants. Some other key observations I've seen on the trail so far are some like flower features, like here's a dandelion. And right here, I know it could be not categorized as a leaf, but like I think we can categorize this maybe as the blade, and this could be considered the stem or the base of the plant right here, like the stem right here and the base right here, that green stuff right there. And then also I've noticed some spuds sprouting on some trees above here, not full leaf form, but soon hopefully. But another great sign of spring and warm weather to come, hopefully. Like right here is a great example. Here's a leaf, here's the base, here's the stem, right there. I think overall it's just so cool to see nature up closer and recording everything and keeping an eye on everything, so. Another thing I found great and pretty cool, like right off the bat afterwards, were some pine cones from a tree up above here, and it reminds me of how we talked about, I'm probably gonna botch the name, but Gemma's Saphir seeds, like cones and that stuff. So it's pretty cool to see these guys in action right up close. So there's a couple here. Hopefully I find more across the trail too, but we'll see. One thing I really can't help notice with plants as I walk and help notice and think about a lot is overall it's so cool how plants grow just by responses to either the light, like the sun right here we see, or the water by like the Mississippi. Hopefully we'll find plants down there too as I walk over there too. And, or even gravity, or even such things as touch, like wrapping around a pole or something. Maybe we'll find something cool like that, hopefully, across the trail. Another usual observation I found was how human life can interact with nature too. And I don't even know what this is, but how like the water of this interacts with the plant life and all the way makes a little stream of its own. So it's kind of pretty cool how human interaction definitely affects, of course, as we know, nature, but it's just pretty cool to see that. I think it's really unusual too. We see it like maybe something in the water, I can't tell, but I saw some bugs earlier, like some water bugs, so like human life can impact sometimes even good and produce a product with nature. Another thing that I could observe while I'm walking this and just remember in the Bible was reading Romans 11 verses 17 through 18, and I think we touched about this in class too, but it says, but if some of the branches were broken off, and though being a wild olive wasn't grafted in among them, and didn't become partaker with them of the root of the fatness of the olive tree, glory not over the branches, but if the glorious is not that though that bears the root, but they're they. You know what, I'm just really thinking that verse stuck out to me a lot with this, especially this tree, because it's like, I feel like it's just saying like, take your time in nature, give the glory to God. It'll take time, but once it sprouts, once this blossoms, it'll turn something into magnificent. So I think it was pretty cool to reread that, especially when I'm walking and doing this journal. So yeah. Well, as I walk on this trail and stuff, I haven't seen a lot of animals, but one of the cool things I found was these geese. by the lake. I'm not sure how close I can get, but it'd be kind of cool to get them. And I just think it's kind of pretty cool. Like, there's some wildlife out here more than plants I've seen on this walk, so hopefully I won't get my head chopped off. There's 3 of them. One of the coolest things I found, and I think it's pretty cool, but I'm not sure if a lot of people, I just find it really interesting and cool how nature works within 2 different elements, like roots and rocks. Like, just this entire thing looks so cool. I believe, like, it's, I don't know why, it's just fun. I would love to climb it, but I don't think that's the safest option. But I just think it's so cool how the roots and the rocks blend in well together. When it comes to vascular plants, I think I found the jackpot over here because there's just so much different ones all against this hill. It's pretty cool just to see all of them. Different ones, not just a single one. Most of them looks like 4-leaf clovers, but not 4-leaf clovers, they're just clovers in general. But I just think it's kind of cool to see all these different ones. Unfortunately, I haven't found moss yet. Hopefully I'll find moss soon. And some fungi, but we'll see. Back when I said it was kind of pretty cool how plants can grow. Depends on, like, what did I say? Like the sunlight, water. I forget the other thing I said, but I remember also saying it can touch around buildings or just other fixtures. And like right here is a great example in this building. I thought it was pretty cool to see that full of spines and branches. So apparently my phone died when I was on the walk, but fortunately I took some photos of some moss and some fungi right before it died. So I just wanted to show this cool photo I took on my phone and upload it on my computer. But how cool it is to see some moss, a non-succulent, great example of a non-succulent plant. Another thing I saw, as I mentioned before earlier, was I saw some fungi right on the path. It was really cool to see those, and it was just so cool to know that fungi. The cool thing about fungi when I was walking was that I just realized how we talked about how it was so, how the energy is reserved like animals from glycogen. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Apologize in advance. And it's just not like other plants. So it's so cool how they do that. And I just also find it so interesting and so fascinating how they release, how basically that fungi just basically release digestive enzymes into the external environment and digest their food outside of their body. I just find that so amazing on how God can create something like that within our environment. Along with that, to end the walk or my lab, I thought I would talk about the ecosystems and just basically the ecology connections. And with walking down the river, I didn't see a lot of, like, it's very hard with the biome because we're in a city, but with the Mississippi River, I find it's a great example of an aquatic biome. And finally, I think it's just very cool how seasons work, given how it's so warm outside. I just find it so cool that God can basically, based off the direction of one big star of the sun, can determine what season we are in and how we are moving, tilting through space along with that. And we can't really feel that, but we can understand that's what's going on. And I just overall think that's so cool how our world works and how God has created the universe.